Shalom, ladies. We are going to dig into trauma personalities just a little bit. And I got this from a licensed social worker slash psychologist. And it is very interesting. He gave them these names. However, we're not going to focus on the names, but we are just going to focus on the personality traits. Remember, trauma shapes your personality. Okay. And so when you find these traits within your personality, then you can work on yourself to kind of, overcome some of these traits that is hurting you. It's hurting us. And so it's really interesting. You may be fluid in a couple of traits, meaning that you can move in and out of them, but we're going to focus on what is your most dominant trait. What is the most dominant trait? And it's important because we want to, again, get the correct help that we need and focus on those traits that we need to correct that is negatively impacting us. All right. So because we don't have therapists right now, some of us, this is good to know. And you can just continue to journal. You can continue to make goals on how to overcome some of these negative traits. So let's dig in. Okay, I'm going to be reading from my notes. So the first one is the doer. And remember, he just gave them names. Doers are high achievers, right? But this is excessive. This is excessive high achievers. They're usually workaholics, and you are a workaholic because you're really avoiding intimacy. You tend to want to get everything right. For example, you are focused on planning the party perfectly instead of enjoying it or experiencing the party, right? You are reactive to situations instead of being in the moment and feeling your emotions as you are in certain situations, right? You tend to overdo things, right? Making mistakes is seen as failing. Like when you make a mistake, it's like your kryptonite, as he said, right? So you feel like you failed when you just made a minor mistake. When trying to get counseling, you're going to try to get an A in counseling. You're going to try to get an A in counseling. You're not process orientated, right? So you're not enjoying the process. You're not thinking about the process. You're just worrying about getting things done. You typically are annoyed by high feelers, like highly emotional people. You get a little annoyed. You're very annoyed. You rush into action without always feeling or discerning what they are doing, right? So you're going to rush into things, but you're not really going to discern or feel. You just want to get it done, right? You're going to rush into it. You like to escape your emotions, so you are not a person who's going to sit there and think about emotions. You just want to get it done, in a timely manner, and your coping mechanisms. So these are all coping mechanisms that you experience, and it's due to trauma in your childhood, like if your family was very chaotic, violence, addiction. You had really rigid parents, religious or military parents, moving to and fro, strict schedules, really, really strict upbringing. And you felt like you didn't have a safe space, right? So that makes sense, right? There was all of that going on. You didn't feel safe. You didn't have a person to sit with to make you feel safe. So you are going to cope by doing all of these things, right? You get it. So you're going to cope by working, throwing yourself into your work. You're going to cope by overachieving, right? And because you wasn't taught to have those emotions, right? Because your family was rigid, you wasn't allowed to have emotions, and so you didn't feel safe to have emotions, and so you're going to become a high achiever workaholic, right? With all of those traits. Fascinating. Fascinating. The hostile. Okay, so you are stuck in fight mode. Your response is survival mode. You are really fighting because you have to survive. Criticism. You are highly defensive when someone criticizes you. Highly defensive. You're going to get real argumentative. You really live in hostility. You are the person that keep the score. So you're not going to let nobody get away with nothing, and you're going to always remind somebody that they did something, right? And then you're going to punish them, right? Control issue. You are a bit aggressive. You got to be right all the time, and you're going to tell it like it is with no filter, right? So there's a difference between being assertive, and then there's a difference between being abrasively truthful or honest. Like, you're going to tell it like it is. You don't care about nobody's feelings, honey, and you're going to say, you like it or not. You are very dominant in your relationships, right? Because you have to control. You probably really was raised by other hostiles or people who were very violent or aggressive, loud all the time. Your parents, they were really immature. They did not take action in your household because they were emotionally immature. So you probably were the child that had to become the adult because your parents were immature, could not take control of situations, could not figure out things to do. And so you had to become the adult in the family. You are going to be quick to punish. It's either my way or the highway. All right. So you are the type of person that you're going to give the advice and you just want people to listen. Just listen, because you got you know what you're talking about, and you just need to listen. So there's no room for going back and forth and seeing others' points of view, because you are the one in control. And that comes from having parents who were not in control. And you had to be in control from a very young child. Fascinating, y'all. Fascinating. He calls this the darkness. So this is really, you are stuck in a freeze mode. Your response is a defeatist attitude. If you're very pessimistic, like you look at things darkly, you're ruled by negative emotions all the time. Like negativity, you like, no. So you're the type of person, and I'm saying you, but you know what I mean, y'all. You're the type of person that if I say it's sunny outside, you're going to say, girl, it's going to rain Friday anyway, and it's going to be cold. And it might even snow, right? You're the type of person, and you might not know you like that. You may take everything personal, right? You take everything personal. You're comfortable more in sadness. So you just rather stay sad than to be happy. You downplay yourself, right? You downplay yourself. You insult yourself. So you are the type of person that's going to insult yourself before others can insult you. Yeah. You're going to insult yourselves before someone else can. You will literally try to destroy yourself to save something, right? So you got to be careful, because you will go above and beyond to save something, and you will destroy your own self. People who are in this mode, they're really heartbroken, right? There was some type of high betrayal that happened to them young, so it left them brokenhearted. You didn't have love or affection shown to you. No respect was shown in the home. Nothing turned out right in the home. Everything went wrong in the home. No love, no respect, and everything is wrong. Um, Positivity, it feels lame to you. So people who are positive, you don't understand why they are positive because you think they are faking. Right? You think they are faking their positivity. You are distant and you feel like you're too complicated to handle. So you'll say, getting with me is going to be complicated because I'm a complicated person and you're not going to want to, get close to me and things of that nature. You're kind of going to push people away before they can even get a chance to get to really know you, right? That's the darkness. The ghost, he calls it. You're in a freeze response as well. You are hard to know. You are not emotionally available. But you feel like you need rescuing all the time. That's that's interesting. You are an extreme introvert. Uh-huh. It's one thing to be an introvert, and it's another thing to be an extreme introvert because you like isolation. You love to isolate. You are the type of person who likes to hide, a scapegoat. You abruptly exit relationships without warning. You just get up one day and you gone. You didn't had enough, and nobody knows it's coming. Nobody knows why. Sporadic hostility. So in that getting hard to know you and stuff like that, you will have sporadic hostility, that anger, underlying anger. You are easily offended, right? So that's that underlying anger. You don't like correction at all because it offends you. You are superficially present. So you there, but you're not there. You know, you have experienced significant neglect. You had a very lonely childhood. It was too much intensity sometimes, and you will shut down. All right. You will go numb in a conflict. So you avoid relationship. You're the type of person that really could care less about dating. Even if you're dating, you're not present in the relationships. You're just casually seeing people. You're very, very distant. You want to love without the feelings or emotional attachment, right? And how can you have love without, the emotions? But you're the type of person probably that just want to sit in a room and the other person be quiet. And there are times when, when you sit with your significant other and, it's just quiet, you chilling, but you the type of person that's all you desire. Like, you don't want to talk, you don't want to emotionally connect, just be in here and chill with me. Like, you that person, right? And it's because you are at home alone. You got up, you got dressed, you sent yourself off to school, you came home, wasn't nobody there, and by the time somebody came, it's late, and now it's time for bed, and maybe they were intense where they were at home anyway. So a lot going on with that one. Are we good? He calls this a personality. Are we good? Are we okay? A people pleaser. You very anxious, and you are anxiously attaching to people. You are a codependent person. You are the type of person to give all of your power away. You make sure that everybody is okay all the time. You overdoing that. You hand your feelings over, and you don't know that you are entitled to being upset. So you hand all your power over, you hand all your feelings over, and you don't think that you can get upset. You don't like to be a burden to anybody. You are overly optimistic. I'm talking about overkill, right? You look at life with rose-colored glasses. You have a false positivity where everybody is frolicking through the tulips. and eating cotton candy and looking at butterflies. You over check in. So you are the type of person that's overly apologizing if you cannot make, a meeting or a party or a get together or something like that, and you over check in, you over apologize for not being there, right? You love providing for others and will neglect yourself. You hate criticism because you don't understand that you don't have to agree with the criticism. So you hate it because you done gave all your power and your feelings away. So you hate criticism. You will always date hostiles. That's the truth. You will always date hostiles. You assimilate into different groups. So you easy to get along with everybody and anybody because you're going to hand over your power anyway, right? You're going to hand over everything. So you are easy to get into groups and just blend with everybody. Conflict is your kryptonite. Conflict hurts too bad, I guess, because you feel like a failure. You feel like you have failed people. You don't recognize abuse. You have a hard time recognizing abuse. Your upbringing was really toxic. You had a toxic parent, most likely a narcissist, right? And you are highly in tune with your toxic parent. So you're the type of person that you are so in tune with them that you are going to make sure that you don't become the problem. So, for example, because this is me. And so when you grow up with a narcissistic parent or they have narcissistic tendencies, they blame you for being the problem. So what you do is you don't want to be a burden or a problem to the parent or to the abuser. So you're going to overcompensate to try to make them happy. And so that's how, and that's how you do in life. You're going to overcompensate to make everybody happy because you don't want to be the problem because you were told you are the problem. All right. So ain't that heavy, y'all? I say, woo, that's heavy. So I know hands down, are we good? And I'm getting better, but I know I can see I am still checking off some stuff right there. So, we can be fluid in and out of different, personalities, but it's the dominant personality. And this isn't designed to make you feel bad. This is designed for you to see yourself and to say, hey, I need to work on these personality traits because that's not my true personality. You know what I'm saying? My personality was shaped that way. But I want to be who I want to be, And so we have to remove the trauma to see who we really are. All right. So y'all let me know. Chime in. Comment after you listen to the video and let me know what you think. All right. Shalom, y'all.